crossed across the ocean. The entire army of Vanaras, they crossed the ocean and they reached Lanka. So the minute they reach Lanka, automatically the news reaches Ravana, right? That the huge army of Vanaras is already stationed. They have crossed the ocean and they have reached your place, Lanka. So he gets to know that. And then, but the one of the spies who he sent to get information, who was that guy's name?
Shuka.
Yeah. Shuka did not return. So Ravana doesn't know how many people, what kind of army, how many of them, who are the most important people in that army. He knows nothing about Ravana's army right now. But looking at the enormous size of the army, he's surprised, he's shocked actually. How does he get to know? He goes, it's already on the top of the mountain, right? Lanka is on top of mountain. What is the name of the mountain? Prasravana is the mountain where Rama was there when Hanuman went to find out where Sita is. But what is the mountain on which Lanka is constructed? Anyone? Sit.
It's not Lanka.
Huh? No. Trikuta. Name of the mountain is Trikuta. On top of the mountain Trikuta. So on top of mountain Trikuta, the city of Lanka is there. And Ravana goes to the top of his own building, his mansion, his huge mansion palace he lives in. He goes to the top and he looks at the army and he is surprised, he's shocked. So he cannot even, in whatever direction he looks, he only sees Vanaras. So Vanaras completely encircled the city of Lanka and the mountain of Trikuta. So that is what he sees. And then he immediately comes and calls upon another spy and his name is Shardula. Okay, he calls upon Shardula and he asks him to go and inquire about the strengths of each of the individual monkeys. Okay, then when he goes and he comes back, Shardula talks about all these monkeys, monkey leaders called Neela, Angada, Nala, Shweta is another monkey, Kumuda, Rambha, Sarabha, Panasa, Vinata, Krantana, and there are so many other people in the army. That is what he says. So all of them are Vanara leaders. So along with Sugriva, of course, Rama and Lakshmana himself, right? So all these are the people that are from the Vanara Sena. That is what. Who's the first guy? Sarana says. Sarana is another one who was sent as a spy, and Sarana comes back and says all these things. But the minute Sarana goes, Vibhishana recognizes him because Vibhishana knows everybody in Lanka, right? So he identifies Sarana and people, all these monkeys start torturing Sarana. But Rama says, no, you cannot do that. A person who is coming, he's not coming for a war, so he cannot really charge against a person who has not come for a war. So he will be let go. And then immediately Ravana also sends this guy, Sardula. Sardula comes back and says, it is this particular army, you can't penetrate into the army. And everybody is so secretive about their mission and you cannot get any kind of information. You can only get the number of people. You can only see that they are very strong and they are very ferocious. That's all you can see. But when I tried to penetrate into the army, they just threw me away. They just tortured me. They started poking me. They started hitting me on my knees, limbs everywhere, and I had to run away. That is what Shardula says. And when Shardula says this, Ravana is very irritated. Ravana says, you are coming to your master and praising the opponent. This is very very uncalled for. This is not the behavior that any spy should be showing. So he gets irritated. And then Shardula says, and then Shardula advises him not to wage a war. He says, I've seen the army. I've seen how strong they are. Looking at all these things, I think it is very wise. It would be very wise of you if you can give away Sita. Give back Sita to Rama. That is the best thing you could do. Don't go for a war and you'll be killed. That's what he says. And that's when Ravana is like, you cannot be talking like this. This is highly uncalled for. That is what he says. And then Shuka also talks about all the enemies, and he gives details of each of those leaders. Okay, and then what happens? So then Rama finds a place within Lanka, and Rama finds a mountain called Subela, and he starts, and everybody starts to camp on the mountain called Subela. They choose this particular mountain because from there they get to see the city of Lanka. They get a view of how Lanka is designed, or where people are situated. So they choose this as their camp, and from there all these people, all the important leaders, right, leaders of Vanara Sena, they start camping people. They start dividing forces between themselves. So each one of the great leaders will get 100,000 army or 200,000 army based on which part of Lanka they are going to attack. So they do all that strategic planning, and they are setting themselves up for a upcoming war. And then on the other side, Ravana, he also calls upon all his ministers. Okay, and then Ravana, right? He's so evil in nature that he comes up with a very nasty idea. What he does is, he has so many demons, right? All these demons are guise changing. They know a lot of magic powers. They know a lot. They can do a lot of tricks. This Ravana, he goes to Sita, and he, with the help of another demon called Vidyujjihva, that is the name of the demon, and he prepares something that looks like the head and that looks like exactly the arrows of Rama. He prepares those. And then Ravana takes them to Sita. That's what happens. So that is the trick that Ravana is playing against Sita, to see if her will is broken and if she agrees to marry him. So the thing is, see, Rama is stationed on the Mount Subela, and Ravana understands that it is very difficult to win them in the war. So now he is coming up with all kind of nasty ideas. His plan is not to kill or not to enter into a war, but to get Sita, right? So he is trying all possible tricks on her so that he can break his will, and he can see if Sita agrees to marry him. So now he is coming and telling Sita that Rama is dead, and as a proof, he is getting something that looks like Rama's face. So it looks like a beheaded head of Rama. And then he also makes those kind of arrows also. That's what happens. And then he gets them to Ashokavana, and he shows that to Sita. Sita, it's very realistic. Looking at the face, it is exactly like Rama's face. The hair, everything is exactly like Rama. So Sita falls into the trick, and she thinks that Rama is dead, and she starts crying inconsolably. She's very, very sorry, and she's almost fainted. She almost faints. And then Ravanasura and Vidyujjihva, they laugh like ferociously, and they show all sorts of illusionary things to Sita. And Ravana tells them, the minute your husband entered Lanka, all my army rallied against him, and they were sleeping, and we went and killed him. Because if he tells Sita that they waged a war against Rama and Rama was killed, Sita would know that it is not true, right? So he says, we deceitfully killed Rama, and that is very much agreeable to Sita. Sita can trust that. I mean, it is very much in line with what truth can be, because winning Rama is very difficult. So without even a scratch on his body, if somebody comes and says, oh, I have won over Rama, Sita will be like, no, it's not possible. But he comes up with this kind of a trick, and now she is her will is broken, and she is crying, and she is very sad. And then Ravana says, now that your husband is dead, who are you going to wait for? Who's going to come and rescue you? He is the reason for your pride, right, all these days. So now get prepared. I'm going to come back and get you, and we'll be getting married. That is what he says, and he leaves that place. And then Sita is crying. Sita is sobbing, and Sita is recounting all those memories with Rama. And just then another demon. So Sita has been living in that Ashokavana for almost 10 months now, right? So some of the demons have really started liking Sita, because Sita is such a pious lady, such a nice lady, and she's in so much of trouble. If you remember, there was another Rakshasi who got a dream last time.
Yeah, but
Who's that? Trijata had a dream. And now today there is another demon called Sarama. And she comes and consoles Sita. She comes and tells Sita that this is highly impossible, and I am also going and looking around, and I know what is going on outside. I can tell you, I can appraise you with what are the things that are going outside. Your husband along with Sugriva's army is stationed, and they have reached and stationed in Lanka, and they're very mighty. The army itself is so many in number, and none of this whatever Ravanasura has told you that's not happened in reality. And you will see very shortly that your husband will have a war with Ravana, and he emerges to be victorious. So don't worry about anything that Ravana has told you. None of that, not 1% of what he said is true. So don't worry about that. And then Sita is very happy to know about the facts. Yeah.
How does she trust her? She's a Rakshasi.
Yeah, because of 10 months of being together, Sita also has some judgment who can be trusted and who cannot be trusted, right? And I heard somewhere either Trijata or Sarama, one of them is Vibhishana's wife. I don't know who exactly is Vibhishana's wife. Some people say it is Trijata, some people say it is Sarama. So it could be true also, right? If Sarama is Vibhishana's wife, then Vibhishana must have put her in this job of serving Sita. And then she says, Sita, if you want me to, she's also a demon, right? She says, I have the powers to go in invisible state and reach your husband. He's stationed in the Suvela mountain. I can go carry your message to him and come back. That is what she says. But then Sita says, if you have that power, go and check on Ravana, what he is doing and what his plans are. Go check Ravana if he desires to let me go, or if he wishes to wage a war with my husband. And then Sarama goes, and Sarama is in the court of Ravana, where he is talking with his ministers. Then at that point of time, the scene in his court is that Ravanasura's mother, who's his mother?
Kaikisi?
Yes, Kaikasi. Kaikasi is telling Ravana to give away Sita. So she's trying to...
Isn't she Maricha's sister?
Yeah, correct. She's Maricha's sister. So she's telling Ravana not to enter into a war, and that is not going to be really a great idea, and the entire demon clan will be wiped out. Lanka will be devoid of any demons if you went ahead with a war with Rama. So the best thing would be for you to give Sita away to Rama, and say sorry to him, and then just get done with it. Rama is a very righteous person. If you go and say sorry and give Sita back, he will excuse you and he will go back to Ayodhya. Nothing will, no distress will happen. Rama is not someone who will hold grudge.
Are 14 years completed already?
Yeah. You remember at some point of time during Aranyakanda, I said 10 years have passed. So Valmiki doesn't give a detailed account of all those 10 years. And in those 10 years, they will be moving across different areas. And after 10 years, they meet Agastya, and Agastya asks them to go to Panchavati, the area of Panchavati, and from there Sita is abducted. So almost at the end of 13th year, Sita is abducted. Okay, so where are we? Kaikasi tells him, don't do this. And there is another, one of his maternal uncles who's also a minister. He also tells him, his name is Malyavan. He also tells Ravana, don't do this. Rama is a very, very great person. He has learned Vedas, Vedangas. He knows all the 14 different sciences. And you going and waging a war with him, it's not going to be victorious on your side. So why ask for trouble? What has happened has happened. And Sita anyways is not accepting you. Sita doesn't want to accept you as her husband. Then what is the point in doing everything? You already have so much of, there's nothing that you do not have or you do not possess, right? So you have everything. Then why don't you, messages. Then why don't you just let everything go and you live peacefully with your wife, with your family and everything that you already have. But Ravana, being Ravana, he insults Malyavan. He says, "You cannot be talking to me like this. I am the one who has won so many wars against Devatas and Gandharvas, Yakshas, Nagas, everybody. Nobody could actually win me in the war. You have seen all those things yourself." And he also recounts about his own army and says, this is the kind of army that I have, and having so much of power myself, why would I give away Sita? He says, anything except for giving away Sita. That is what he keeps telling Sarana, he tells Shuka, he tells Shardula, everybody advises him, give away Sita. This is the best thing that you could do in the given situation. But he says, except for that, I'm ready to do anything. Just I cannot give away Sita. That is the only thing that I cannot do. I don't want to do. Except for that, because he is egoistic, right? That is why he doesn't want to. And then what happens?